if you're gonna be negotiating with somebody, the most important thing you need to do is think about how can this be fair, and not from your perspective, but from their perspective. All right, so you wanna know how to win a negotiation with almost anyone. I think this is a very important skill set to have, especially as an investor, because you're gonna be negotiating with everyone all the time, every single day. Like your attorney, your realtor, your property manager, your contractors, every single person you are going to be negotiating with. Don't think for a second that just because they give you a price that you should be going and paying the price that they gave you. You should always be negotiating. I call it the rule of three, making sure that you at least benchmark 3 different proposals, whatever type of job that you're gonna get done on any of your properties, 3 different proposals on whatever that work is. So if it's a roof, then you gotta go and get 3 different proposals. If it's plumbing, you gotta get 3 different proposals. Eventually you'll get to the point where you know the guys that are working well for you, and you know the ones that aren't, you know the ones that are overcharging, you know the ones that aren't, and so you'll be able to, mitigate the overage of cost and spend. But this is what's most important. Negotiating with people is a skill set. It's kind of like an art, to be quite honest with you. If you're gonna be negotiating with somebody, the most important thing you need to do is think about how can this be fair, and not from your perspective, but from their perspective. So think about it this way. If you right now are trying to get in on a deal that is, let's say, listed at $100,000, but you wanna buy it for $80,000, how do you make it fair so that you and the other person, the seller, have a fair felt deal? So the way that I would do it, quite frankly, is I would just say, listen, what's most important to you? If this property isn't in the condition where I feel I would buy it at 100, what would you want for this deal given the disparity between our prices? So let's say, for example, you want 100, I want 80. Are you willing to meet me halfway and let's make it 90? Are you willing to meet me at, let's say 90, but make seller credit, and then maybe the other half will be funded by the loan? But let's figure out a way where we can come together and make it fair, right? Prove also with some form of data. Hey, look, based off of the data on your property, it shows that you're a little bit over the price point for this area. So let's try to meet somewhere in the middle. Think about the other person, and things will become a lot easier for you to settle the decision, right? And you'll be able to actually close on the deal. Time is of the essence in these situations, because if you can't come to a middle ground, the longer it takes for you to try and close the deal, the longer it's gonna take for you to be able to do your rehab and get good tenants, and you're essentially losing money over time. You don't wanna do that. So focus 100% on thinking about, from the very, very beginning, focus 100% on thinking about what the other person is or thinks is fair.